Hello, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities in case you missed it for December 2019. Can you believe that we're already at the end of the year? It's been a fun and sometimes bumpy ride. Thank you all for taking part in this ride with us, and let's jump right into it. The final, in case you missed it, for 2019. When you hear Wakanda, what do you think about? Most will say that overrated Marvel movie Black Panther, and you'd be right. However, there is a select few who would say a trade partner, or rather former trade partner of the United States. The fictional country was listed as a trade partner on the agricultural tariff tracker maintained by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Foreign Agricultural Service. Somehow, a fictional country was approved to be a trade partner of the United States. How something like that happens is beyond me, but it shows just how incompetent government truly is. Remember when you were a kid? I bet times were much more simpler. Running outside with friends, sneaking candy, watching cartoons, not wanting to go to school, and reading a book on demons and learning how to summon them. You know, the simple, fun life of a kid. Okay, so I know what you're saying. Reading about demons. That might not have been part of your childhood, but it could be part of your son or daughter's childhood. A book was recently published by Koyama Press with drawings by artist Aaron Leon and has information in it that calls to summon demons so that they help the child with homework or to save them from harassing school bullies. The book even has a signal chart to somewhat help with the summoning. A Catholic priest, Father Francesco Bonmonte, left a message on the book's website stating, "You don't mess around with demons. Whoever invites a child to summon a demon is like a person who puts a grenade in their hands to play with. Sooner or later, the child will pull the pin and the bomb will explode in their hands." While I doubt nothing will come of this, I see nothing wrong with introducing kids to the other so-called darker parts of the spiritual world. But saying that, I talk about this stuff all the time, so in the eyes of Catholics, I'm probably as corrupt as can be. So with that said, hail Satan and let's sacrifice a goat. So guys, did you know? Vampires are real. At least that's what one researcher is saying. An Atlanta Vampire Alliance survey estimates that around 5,000 real vampires may live across the United States. John Edgar Browning, an academic researcher at Louisiana State University, claims there are at least 50 vamps living in New Orleans alone. Speaking to the Daily Star, John Edgar Browning said that through pagan and other witchcraft-related groups and golf clubs, as well as various pagan groups, they meet each other. These social gatherings included Dark Shadows conventions and other vampire fiction and film fan organizations, bondage and S&M events, which were frequented by blood fetishes and others whom real vampires found to be willing blood donors. Allegedly, this feeding is consensual and safe. Blood tests are done beforehand and sterile tools are used to extract blood. Browning didn't mention any other places where vampires dwell, but if you're in New Orleans and at a S&M event, pop on in and say you want someone to suck your blood. Who knows? We might send Bonnie to one of those events to see what happens. As most of you know, we here at Unexplained Possibilities are believers in extraterrestrial life. So when we find out that there have been attempts at trying to find life out in the ocean of stars and how we communicate with it, well, it catches our attention. However, NASA had an interesting way for prepping to speak with ET life. NASA was funding a project to prep for alien communication with LSD dolphin sex experiments. You heard that right, and I'm not repeating that. Now, this happened back in the 60s, but it involved getting freaky with and giving drugs to dolphins. Malcolm Brenner first spoke about this in 2010 and confessed to being intimate with the dolphin for 7 months. Margaret Howe Lovett, John Lilly, and Frank Drake were some of the minds behind this project. Lilly even gave LSD to the dolphins just to see how they would react. Apparently, the team was able to translate and communicate with the dolphins. Now, to check and see how things were getting along with the project, NASA sent a young Carl Sagan to check on the progress and present a report. Needless to say, the project was ended after Sagan reported back to NASA. However, the project did lead to, and I'm about to butcher this, so yeah, this might be the final butcher of the year, the Arecibo message, which was put together by Sagan and Drake. The 3-minute message beamed towards the M13 star cluster in the constellation Hercules featured a number of spliced images of human, a DNA strand, and a radio telescope. We are still waiting for a reply back, and hopefully the ETs aren't using a water-dwelling animal to communicate a message back to us. How do you explain the birds and the bees to a kid? Well, you don't. That's what school is for. But if for some reason you need to speak to them about it, you might want to take them to Drake's Beach in California, where thousands of what is being dubbed penis fish have washed the shore. The actual name of this fish is the fat innkeeper worm. A recent storm pulled them out of their homes made of sand and carried them to shore. The kick is, these worms legit, well, they look like a penis. This isn't the first time this has happened, nor is Drake's Beach the only location where it has happened. Over the years, Pajaro Dunes, Moss Landing, Badoga Bay, and Princeton Harbor have seen similar happenings. The penis fish is 10 inches long, you know you like that, ladies, and creates a U-shaped burrow in the mud or sand that it leaves behind for other creatures to move in, hence the name innkeeper. It lives to be almost 25 years old and feeds on plankton, bacteria, and other small particles on the ocean. And finally, sometimes we all get an itch in a spot that's hard for us to scratch. So we improvise and use tools. Well, for one 60-year-old man, this itch was on his butt, and his tool of choice was a 7-inch long bottle of cologne. I think you guys know where this is going. Somehow, the bottle went up his bum, all the way up there. He claims he was just trying to scratch a particular place, but he didn't say exactly where on his butt that place was. The man went to the hospital saying he had abdomen pains, and, well, the x-ray tells the story why. Luckily, they were able to remove the bottle and the man is A-OK. Interestingly enough, in August of 2019, someone else had the same problem. A cologne bottle went up their bum. And what's even crazier is, it's the same brand of cologne. And that not only concludes In Case You Missed It, but also concludes the year of 2019 for Unexplained Possibilities. We had a great run this year, tried some new things, expanded to other forms of social media and podcast hosts, and then some. Thank you to everyone, and I mean everyone, for all the support, comments, shares, the works. It's so very appreciated, and it keeps us going. So, on behalf of Neima, Bonnie, and Angie K, thank you all for watching throughout the entire year, and for the final time in 2019, remember guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye everybody, and Happy New Year.